Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to explain in detail why height matters so much in Daygame, and you have to be over 5'9". And for those people who are thinking about height, whether or not it matters, I can tell you without a doubt, height matters more than anything in Daygame. This is the truth, and I'm going to show you my student results. There's going to be no spin here. I'll show you why my student results will explain and scientifically explain why height matters. I fucked up with my hair, so I was trying to turn it brown. It turned like yellowish. So let's get started, shall we? All right. Does height matter? Let's look at all of the student results. Let's go through them one by one. And I'm going to put two colors. On the left, it means the results before they took training with me. On the right is after my training. Okay. For the first student, I listed all their heights. So let's take a look here, guys. The first guy over here, as you can see, is 5'11". Okay, 5'11". And for him, you can see it was yellow before, and it turned into green. So it means that for him, when he learned my training, he got laid 3 times in a row. He got laid 3 times in a row. 3 fuck buddies, I think, in 3 weeks, and then he got a girlfriend out of one of them by being 5'11". So for him, he got like a yellow and green. So that's a green. You want to see how many greens there are. And this is going to shock a lot of people because now you realize it's not getting laid is not always about skills. It's about how tall you are. And it makes it so much easier. No one wants to hear this, but this is the truth. I think I'm getting 5'8". You need it. Elevator shoes. Okay. The second student. Okay. Let's take a look. His height for this guy, he's 5'8". And for him, he's an impossible case. Autistic really doesn't learn shit. Ever. So for him, his height made it harder. He got a red. So he's below 5'9", national average. Like, oh my God, John, like, holy shit. So you're going to break down every single student? 100% correct. Give it a thumbs up. I'm going to show you the science rather than the spin doctoring. It's not the emotions that gets a student more results. That's a bullshit spin. It is the height. It is the height. If it were the emotions, then autistic snowflake cunts like RSD victims will all get results, which is not the case. How high should I get the elevator shoes? Wouldn't they look like heels if they're too big? Well, the elevator shoes are built into the heels are built into the elevator shoes, so you can't really tell. You got to make sure your pants can cover the back of the elevator shoes. And you want something that's brown. I should not be telling you this. This is for my bootcamp students. You want a 3-inch one. So if you're 5 foot, I don't know your height, but you want to be over 5'9". The third student, he had 60 lays on Tinder, but he wasn't that good at Daygame. Okay, so for him, this student, it's very hot in here. Not that I give a shit, but let me turn off the lights for a second. Makes it easier for processing the shit. All right, for this student, he's 5'8" exactly. So for him, 60 lays on Tinder. However, he wasn't that good at Daygame. Emotions affected him, sure. But for his height, he had to approach a lot more. So for him, if he went direct, he'll eventually get laid. So why brown? Whitewashed. Every Asian loves like black shoes. It's so fucking ridiculous. Okay. So this student was 5'4", right here. Okay. So what score we give him? Red. Before he went for like 6 or 7 different Daygame systems. He couldn't get any results. Simple pickup, RSD, all that shit. And then later on became green as soon as I changed his fashion. I didn't boost his height, but he banged an Asian woman. That's his race. And then in a week afterwards, I had to teach him again because he says, if I don't get laid again a second time, then I'll donate my money to the NRA or something. And I was like, fuck, I have to help this guy again. I had to pick out 2 outfits for him and change a lot of his game. Elite 30 helped a lot. Social skills, not emotions that helped. The next student has no emotions whatsoever. He's, but he's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy. He's only 5'5", this guy. So he's a Vietnamese student. Now his hair color is like mine. golden color. However, for him, he went from red, as you can see here, to yellow. That means he still took a while to get his first pull. But when he got his first pull, he got two models, one Asian model and one white model. And he got a third fuck buddy. So with my game afterwards, he's turned into yellow, but it didn't turn into green, which is strange, by the way. Are you guys starting to see this? There's a pattern. He had to do approaches for like 3 months. Can I send you the Skype shoes I'm thinking about getting? You're on my Skype? Because I have no idea who you are. Okay. This Asian over here got 7 lays in Europe. I think it's closer to 10. I have to count. He's 5'7", exactly like me, but very handsome guy. Not as good looking as the other guy with 2 models. But for him, since he's good looking and stuff, he got 7 lays. You can see yellow right here, yellow for this guy. And then yellowish kind of green. So he became just a little bit more efficient. But because he was more like already calibrated to some degree, it just took a lot less approaches. But he does approach the entire fucking city, you know, in Europe. Every single city, he'll do like 500 to 1,000 approaches within a very short amount of time. Every single girl that walks by, he'll approach her. So for shorter guys, it's harder. Because he bought the elite bundle the same time as the first guy, who was 5'11". So for him, both of them, he took a little bit longer, but he had more lays overall in the long run. Hope that makes sense. So who's the next student? Do you guys remember the bootcamp student? This guy, 5'11". Remember him? Hey guys, yeah man, I'm taking John Lee's bootcamp. So for him, he was red before. He could barely get results. It took him a really long time to get the first girlfriend. It's all facts, all the truth. What is you're saying, John? The system is based on value, skill, game. So instead of thinking it's all emotions is only a very small part of it. I'll explain. Remember, social skill, social calibrations, emotional intelligence in game. So if people are saying, oh, because the emotions are this and that, it is a spin, it is a lie, it is manipulation. It's just these tall, black-looking, white-looking, Latino-looking, Middle Eastern-looking guys can emote just a little bit to get over that line. So it's a height that matters because they're not short. They're above 5'9". So whoever claims this shit is just talking out of their ass and being delusional about their own value because they're value deniers. Hey, John, do Justin and Wayne act? Yeah. I mean, the thing is that, height doesn't matter and everything's like, it's like, it's not the height and everything and about the race. I heard about all that before and stuff like that. It's not that important, like what I'm saying. So the next guy, okay, you can see him with a Guy Fawkes mask. So for him, right, like you can see it was red before. You can barely get results, and it turned into yellow. He's 5'7". So what is his story and why is he wearing that mask? I believe that for him, he got 3 fuck buddies, but I think he got more. I think this guy, I read somewhere that he got results from. He might got 15 lays, not just like 3. It's probably closer to 15. If you are that guy, please contact me and just update your testimonial. So 3 lays or 15, but he didn't get a girlfriend. So he's 5'7" in Vancouver. He went for Asian women mostly, I believe. He changed the fashion and everything, and he started talking like the Friends tonality. If that's him, that's what happened. That's his story. Okay, so we know he gone from a red, which is nonstop approaches, no results, to yellow. But that's the funny thing. It wasn't green. It's just yellow. It took a lot of approaches. So for this guy, remember this guy in the testimonials for the trailer, the bald guy, 5'11", same height again. He's gone from red to green red. So what happened to him was he's very autistic. He does not have any emotions. He's not autistic, but he's like Asperger's, monotone. Hey, how's it going? His tonality does not change at all. So when he was at the boot camp, he already got like a same-day lay in Las Vegas. Big, tall, bald guy. Chinese. I made him widen his back muscles. But for him, the reason why I gave him a green red after my training was the first approach that he made in the airport, he got a same-day lay again. So that's 2 same-day lays. Hope that makes sense. Justin Wayne came back to scam. Yeah, fuck Justin Wayne. I thought autistic was same as Asperger's. No, Asperger's and autism is different. Asperger's is more like narrow focus, a little bit fucked up social skills, eyes turn left and right. Autism is more like emotional snowflake cunt. So people think emotional equals empathy. Emotions does not equal empathy, guys. That's a big lie. Emotions equals dangerous, because the more emotional someone is, the higher the ego, the lower the self-esteem. This is what they don't want to tell you. The higher the ego, low, narcissistic personality disorder, sociopathy, and autism equals emotionality for PUAs. And people don't like to be labeled, but this is the truth. This is the truth. And a lot of my students, they might think the hardware is bad because they're kind of psychopathic or not emotional. In fact, those are my best students. So in the height matters. Like I said, it doesn't even matter about your emotions, because that means very little. But what matters is your height. Okay, for next guy. John, why is it that chodes with zero game are getting girls from social circle, a PUA mountain work? Well, the thing is that because there are many different categories, social skills, social calibrations, emotional intelligence in game, they're getting from social skills. These guys have the greatest social skills in that kind of area. A lot of the PUAs, the comorbidity, although they don't want to be called that, the sociopathic, autistic, no social skills, deluded, depressed sheeps, they're so creepy looking that they can't fit in with the real world, that people will find them very creepy. I can get along with anyone in the real world. I just don't give a fuck when I talk to them. But when you see me talking to normal people in front of my bootcamp students and stuff, they're like, what the fuck, Sean? How come your social skills are so high? It's just, I don't want to use it because I don't care. But because their social skills are so high, social skills make a big part of their results, because the blue pill people can get girlfriends, they can get in a social circle, they can get like female friends. It has all that shit. The PUAs cannot read emotions, some of them, and they're sociopathic, so therefore they can't really connect with the social skills. They have socio skills, not social skills. So exactly, creepy as fuck. So women are very emotional. Oh, of course they're very emotional, but it doesn't mean you have to be an emotional snowflake cunt, because sometimes the opposite is true. You can be a battle-hardened guy who's willing to tease her really, really fucking hard and tell her to fuck off, and you walk away. That kind of behavioral game can give you a lot more advantage than trying to be a snowflake cunt. All right, next one. So the next student, Vietnamese. So he's 5'8". Okay, he took the boot camp. And it took a while for him to get laid, because even he pulled in a boot camp in the last minute. So he learned how to change his vibe. Sure, that helped him a little bit. Around 5'8". He could have been like 5'8.5". But afterwards, when he went home, he did Elite 30 for a long time, and then he got his lay. It took him a while. So even as an Asian, you see that 5'8" and 5'9" is just 1 inch. But it made such a big difference. He's Australian. It made such a big difference. The height matters so much. Every fucking inch counts. You're like, holy shit. Filipino, okay? This guy, before, he couldn't get laid at all. You see this guy? 5'7", red to yellow. He could not get laid at all. But he was creeping on all the girls during bachata. But I taught him how to use Instagram and improve his text game. And he was able to get so many of the women out. Latinas, because he's Mexican looking. Because he used the social media to replace the value that he lost with the lack of emotion. So he put the chips right into the Instagram, this social status. Hope that makes sense. Thanks, John. How many percent does your SMV cover? Let's just say you're fit, good clothing, nice haircut, but on the other hand, average height and face. Well, we have to calculate everything one at a time. How much percent does your SMV cover? Well, it's not exactly like 100% over the 20 or 35, but it's close. Let's just say that. It's close. So for me, probably should build my Instagram. But even if I max out the skills, now Asians are no longer 1 out of 10 for the natural status. They're 0 because of COVID-19. People are beating Asians up now. So it's not like exactly like our SMV went down. Our SMV went down. All right, so the next one. He's in the Philippines. I hope he didn't die from the tsunami. I gotta contact him. He gone from red to green. Although he did get laid, he took a different company's PUA boot camp, but he couldn't get laid day game. He got laid during night game, but day game was completely off limits to him. So he took my coaching, and he was getting laid every single day almost. At first, the girls were like not that attractive. He was a little bit chubby. He lost some weight, and then the girls became hotter the next time. He had a 2-week vacation. So therefore, he just got laid the entire time. And he even talked about my text game, for day game, and he was able to get a lot of girls out. He did some online, but he did day game. He was same day laying all the time in the Philippines, and then people were like, "What the fuck, man?" So he's gone from red to green in the shortest amount of time. But he's the same race as the other Filipino women, so that kind of gives him some kind of advantage. Okay. Thanks, man. Last question. How do you create a high value Instagram page? Competition. Well, I have an algorithm from the inner circle that I don't teach it to the public. This is top secret. There are algorithms that all the students, especially the guy with 60 lays, from Tinder, he uses all my Instagram secrets. And I taught him first during the boot camp. And so did the other 5'7" Filipino. They know my secrets, but I don't teach it to the public unless you take text game for minorities or you try to take like a boot camp or the inner circle, which is a Facebook Live group that people are neglecting. All right, the next guy. Okay. I don't know his results, but for him, he was already married. This guy. See this guy? In the boot camp. I didn't know what happened afterwards. So therefore, I'm not sure if he approached afterwards. He wanted to write my life story in a Hollywood movie. He approached ABCs of Attraction first, and JT Tran was like, "Yeah, I could probably write my own movie much better than you can." So then afterwards, I declined. I said, "I don't give a fuck about a Hollywood movie, or I don't want to be on a TV show." So, but you can do the acting, John. And I was like, "Nah, I don't fucking want to do it. I'm a dating coach. I don't give a shit about fame. I don't care about money. I don't care about that shit." And that's how we ended. So for this student, he's 5'8". He's a Vietnamese guy. He pulled 4 times on the boot camp. He's a little bit on the nice side. But you see, it's still red because afterwards, when he finished his boot camp, okay, he was on Tinder and he was with a girl. And for some reason, he didn't take off his boxers or his underwear. He was very timid. He didn't sexualize it, even though I taught him to. I don't know why he's not sexualizing it. It's not about romantic or flirting or any of that shit. If he doesn't sexualize it, then he can't move things forward. He had a mental block, but he still pulled 4 times. But you can see even at his height is below 5'9", it is a lot harder. So for this guy, he's 5'7", and the reason why I give him a green was because for him, he's in his mid 40s right now. On the boot camp, he got laid. So when he got laid on my boot camp, he is half white and half Filipino. His eyes are not black color. It's kind of like a hazel color, and women are into him because he was a very good looking guy before, even at 5'7". So he has the looks advantage. Does that make sense? So for him, he was a quick learner. He's one of the students who just took to my coaching really quickly. But for him, being half white and half Filipino made it a lot easier. So for him, he's the shorter guy that got the results, but it was with the Asian women. But that's what he's into. He wanted to get Asian women. He's not, because he's half Asian. He likes Asian women. But his girlfriend right now is a Filipina. Not Filipina, I mean Mexican. She looks almost Asian, but she's quite attractive. So that's his SMV. It's pretty high. The next guy is a Filipino student, okay? He was a big Justin Wayne fan, this guy over here. Like, he's Justin Wayne fan, 5'4", very short Filipino guy, like a big Justin Wayne fan. He gone from red to green because it's the same country in the Philippines. So what happened with this student was that he was always listening to RSD theories and Justin Wayne shit. It didn't work. It didn't fucking work. So what happened was he learned under John Elite, Gaming Elite. I was called Gaming Elite back then. So this is during a period before I was even John Wayne. So he trained under me. He got this kind of results. He got a girlfriend out of it. And he got a few same-day lays, which is really cool, by the way. So he no longer listens to Justin Wayne anymore or RSD. Okay. Next guy he's not super fast, but he's not super slow either. This guy over here, he banged a woman in the bathroom, and she was a fitness model. He's 5'11", so therefore the height does matter to some degree. He banged a fitness model. At first, he was very, very beta, and he's very, very scared of women, and he's very timid and stuff. So what happened was when I was teaching him, it took him 3 Skypes to get over his inner game issues, and then later on, he banged a woman. It took a lot of approaches, but he eventually banged a woman in the bathroom, a white woman too. Next guy, I don't know what happened to him, but he pulled 2 women, the mother and daughter, under my in-air coaching in the boot camp. Yeah, so that's what happened. He was about to fuck the mother, but the daughter cock blocked the mother. They're both Russian. And it's like, what the fuck? So I don't know what happened to him afterwards. Okay, I don't know what happened afterwards. 5'4" Indian guy who got laid. He lost his virginity, and he also got another lay on Tinder. I think 2 Daygame on Tinder or 1 Daygame. I'm not sure, something like that. He took text game for minorities, and he used a Daygame version. I did not teach him the Instagram secrets. So for him, it was slower because he was shorter. That's why I put red. So his results took a lot more approaches than normal. Hope that makes sense. If you guys are getting this, give it a thumbs up because it's the scientific method of everything. So you're gonna see if the height matters or not. Okay, this 5'7" guy in Australia, remember the Indian guy? The thing about him was that what made him good from red to no results to green, and he became unstoppable, was because in Australia is much easier. Second of all, he did not look Indian, he looked Middle Eastern. And therefore, when he started approaching, and people were not approaching very much in Australia, he started closing because I started giving him tips. I kept giving him tips, but he became too ungrateful because he got too many fucking lays under my training. He mentally, like most Indians, he went to lower self. You know what I mean? Lower self. Like depressed, snowflake, cunt gear, lower self, and red-eyed. And when he was red-eyed, he could not control all that results. He banged a Norwegian woman, a hot Brazilian, and he just kept fucking and fucking, and then his eyes turned red, and then same story. Indians need to go reset back to depressed gear. So another Indian guy. For him, he's 5'7". It took a long time after the boot camp. I think he eventually had 4 lays. I'm not sure if they're white girls or not, but he got 4 lays after the boot camp. It took a while to get there. So at his height, it took more approaches to get there. So there seems to be a pattern here that isn't there. So it's like 3 months after the boot camp before it started to click. So next Indian guy, he's in India. So I gave him a red in the beginning at first, but then it became more yellow. For him, he was very inconsistent. He could get laid and stuff, but there was a few pieces missing. He was a little bit emotional, and his tonality was not that good. But for him, he became yellow. Now he can kind of get laid and stuff once in a while, but it's not as consistent as he wants. He still needs a lot more training. So the next guy, he is one of my students with autism and a lot of anger and stuff like that. So this is what they call impossible case. So for this student, he's 5'11". You think the height would have helped him, but his looks was not exactly the highest, and he was a little bit on the chubby side. But other than that, he still lost his virginity with a white woman. He pulled a Latina at first because his dark skin. He could not finish that. I mean, for him, he couldn't get an erection. So that happened twice, and she got offended. The first time, I told him give her some flowers and a note to say that he's sorry that he could not get hard. And he was gonna give her a note. He just handed her the fucking flowers, and he got a second chance, but he couldn't get hard. But the white woman was more forgiving. She let him take his time, and he was able to lose his virginity. At first, he only got a few thrusts. He got soft, and then the next time, he got harder, and he finished. So therefore, he lost his virginity for good. For this Indian student, so this guy's from Elite 30. He took my boot camp. He had 2 girlfriends at the same time. He's 5'11". So he's gone from red, and the reason why it goes red-green afterwards was because he got laid on the vacation with a Japanese girl, and he was actually born in Asia. This Indian guy, he was not born in India or Canada or anything like that. So for him, why is it green-red? He got another girlfriend that's green, another Japanese girlfriend, 2 Japanese. However, somebody kept feeding him this black pill bullshit, and it fucked up his mind. He no longer can think anymore. He's poisoned. So therefore, his results are all fucked. Never listen to black pill shit. Okay? This guy, remember him? My friend. Good-looking guy. 5 foot. He's 6 foot tall. He's gone from red, where he got no results from any of the coaches in London. He's been to 10 dating coaches, 10 of them, and he couldn't even get laid. And they're all white or something in London, and he just want to learn indirect. When I started teaching him, he got so many blowjobs and so many lays in such a short time, and then he eventually got a blowjob, which is his future girlfriend. And then eventually, because he looks Latino, she's a Latina. So whatever race you look like, so if you look like you're Latino and you're Indian, guess what? She treats you like you're Latino. She treats you like you're Latino. If you look black and you're Indian, guess what? She treats you like you are black. Therefore, you have the SMV of the black. If you're Indian, you look Middle Eastern, you get the SMV of a Middle Eastern. If you're Indian and you look like Pakistani, you get the SMV that's higher of a Pakistani. If you're dressed whitewashed and you're Indian, it's like 4 out of 10 for the SMV. So if you look like you're curry Indian, which is like, the really negative stereotype, big beard, big turban, then it becomes 2 out of 10. Never, ever, ever look like the curry Indian. So yes, the next Indian guy, he's gone from red. Before, he used to have the worst hairstyle ever, this guy. So the worst hairstyle, and look at him change. He's gone from a nerdy looking guy to an alpha looking guy. And he banged women that are Latina, white women, the whole fucking rainbow, Asians, he banged them all. He went to Zara clothing and shit like that. But 5'11", he's gone from a red student to a green. And before, with his hairstyle down like a K-pop artist. It's like really awful. Okay? The next guy, I have no idea what happened. He's 6 foot. Are you guys enjoying this? I hope you guys are enjoying this. Some people are dropping off. It's not the emotions. This guy's very emotional, like a emotional Indian. They're all like that. And the thing is that he didn't sexualize it, so I don't know what happened after in the boot camp. He had a fuck buddy before, so he went back to her. I think he exited the game. This black student, I think he's 5'10". Okay, ungrateful black student who basically does not rep me. It's the same shit as usual. Black students never give me like the, like credit ever. Black students, they're like the most ungrateful. So for him, he's around 5'10", I believe, 5'9", 5'10", in Montreal. And for him, in a different part of Canada, a French Canadian, he got 2 fuck buddies, I believe. One fuck buddy, one Skype. No, it's not one Skype, one fuck buddy. It's actually 2 fuck buddies. There's 2 women here, 2 different women. So for him, he banged 2 different women at 2 different times. He didn't make him his girlfriend, but he should have repped me, or he should have given me credit where it's due. But for him, he's gone from yellow to green because he's banging the same race. Next one. How tall is this guy? I could be wrong. He might be 6'2". He might be 6'2". I might have fucked up his height. I put 6 foot tall, but I think he's 6'2". I have to correct it. So he's gone from 0 results, RSD victim, right, all the way to green, which he is now like 20 lays afterwards and 2 girlfriends. So to say that you're more emotional, you get a girlfriend or some bullshit like that is complete nonsense. You see height equals lay. So what's SMV of a Persian-looking dude? I would say probably in Europe like 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, really fucking high. If you're a tall Persian guy, your SMV is through the roof. Because if you're Persian, you'll probably get a girlfriend for it just by being Persian. Hope that makes sense. And especially in places like Sweden and stuff. The next student was 6'1", Negro. Okay, another Negro who's ungrateful. So for this 6'1" Negro, he's gone from red to green. He got no results before. He trained under me. On his first Skype, the first approach, he got a same-day lay. Afterwards, during that week, then he banged this white girl during this week, and her dad does not like him. You know what I mean? So you can see with 6'1", he got results really quickly, and he let it get to his head. Afterwards, it kind of like declined. But he got results really quickly by being tall and black. Hope that makes sense. On Tinder, he wouldn't get much results, but here he'll get a ton of results. All right. 18-year-old high school student. He's only 5'8". So he approached for 6 months in a row in Vancouver. He got absolutely 0 results. He got killed in the game. And then he trained under me. I was mentoring him. for pre-boot camp training. So what happened with him is that it gone from red to yellow. During Elite 30, around I think day number 8 or something, he got a blow job after I told him to change his hair color from black to brown, so he looked more white because his skin's kind of bright. Okay, sorry, nose itch. His skin's kind of white, so he started to change his SMV. He looked like a different race. He looked like he's half white or white. So what happened with him was that he got a blowjob from a married woman. He was only 17, so I'm not sure if that's legal. I think it is legal. It's not my problem. And then he got like an 18-year-old girlfriend who was the same race as him. They're both like Colombian, so they're Spanish. But the secret behind his success, besides the hair color change, was that I bought him some heel lifts. He didn't have any money. He was still in high school. So I went to a Korean store. I bought like 20 fucking heel lifts, maybe for future students and stuff. I just bought like a bunch. Just these foamy stuff. I don't use them, but the thing is I gave him one and he was so happy. He was like, you know, he's like an inch taller. He's exactly 5'9". And I told him it's going to be 10 times easier now. Okay. And I'm going to show you that the science is all this is true, because I'm going to start reading the scientific psychology documentations that this 5'9" height is actually real, guys. This is a science that getting laid faster is a height thing. That means they'll all get laid eventually, but the height matters a lot. This is the next guy. He's a 5'7" Latino, so he's Spanish. Okay, so for this Spanish guy, he's gone from red to yellow. So he banged a 6'2" blonde. He always wanted to bang a blonde woman, and his girlfriend was like 8.5 out of 10, like a Justin Wayne quality kind of girlfriend. But they're the same race. They're both Colombian again. So it's the same pattern. He's shorter than the other guy, but he's muscular as shit, and he has a good job. So for him, that's how he got a girlfriend. I'm telling you, certain races, as I said before, will get girlfriends. You saw the Latino guys getting girlfriends faster. So getting a girlfriend is nothing to brag about, because some of my students are asking me, how the fuck are they supposed to cheat on their girlfriends? They're paying me to teach them how to fucking cheat on their girlfriends. Seriously. Like I said, tall, white, black, Latino looking, and Middle Eastern automatically get girlfriends. And now you can see height equals, yes, exactly, evolutionary psychology. That means the taller they are, the easier it is to get laid, because the protector status. This student, possible case, took a long time. But for him, 5'7", so I gave him a red. He's a slow learner, but he eventually got 2 girlfriends despite being Latino over there in Europe. So the next student, this guy, really handsome, 6 foot tall, 5'11.5". He looks like Elvis Presley. The woman next to him there, I was in there coaching him. She's like really tall, really fucking tall. But that was in Prague. So for him, he is super handsome, and I think he's the guy who's the 4-year-old virgin or something. Like he's better looking than the women that he has a girlfriend by far. He can stand next to models and look like he's just a little bit chubby. So for him, you can see the height, but he learned slow because he was very like snowflake-ish, very autistic. For this guy, the Middle Eastern student, right now I have to upgrade his testimonial. Okay, for this Middle Eastern student over here. Remember this guy, 10 lays? He's actually closer to 20 lays now, and his girlfriend was a model. He got a girlfriend who was a model, who's like really, really good looking. So you're thinking he dumped her. The height, he's 6'2". So he's gone from yellow to green. Are you guys seeing a pattern here? So therefore, anyone that brags about, emotions equal getting laid fast, it is complete, utter fucking bullshit, lying through their fucking teeth, spin doctoring, motherfucker, Machiavellian sociopathy. That's not true at all. There's no truth to that. I'm just telling you, some of the students, they need more approach. But this guy, you're probably thinking like, whoa, he's, a good-looking white guy, 6'1", but he was autistic as shit. So for him, it took him a long time to get laid, a long fucking time. You're like, the autism that did affect him. So he's still red. This guy was about to kill himself. Okay, he's a London person, but he gone from green red to green. He had no results before. He was circle jerking or sucking off white dating coaches in London. At first, it was all these London guys. He got no results. Then later on, it's Todd Valentine. He kept going back to white coaches. He went back to me, white coaches back, until he finally listened to me. I changed the social media. So I was like, and then Asian women finally hooked, and she saw it, and he banged her. When he banged her, he banged another Asian woman after I fixed up his avatar. So he looked less autistic. There's no autistic sort of head tilt. I fixed the head tilt. And now he has 2 fuck buddies during the coronavirus. He was trying to go out there to get me the testimonial, but the lockdown happened at that time. But good luck to him. But he's 6'1", guys. 6'1". Okay. So JP, before you text me, right? Please give me a little bit more time. Okay, this London student is 6'2". You guys see that? 6'2". So it's not like a theory. Him being 6'2", he got like a fuck buddy. On the first approach on the boot camp, he got laid with a blonde woman. You probably think the first one, by being tall and white, 6'2", and he's not good looking. He's bald. Look at that. He's bald. He has no hair whatsoever. I made him shave it off. He's wearing a leather jacket. I made him wear a leather jacket. You know, I was trying to make him look like a London Daygame or PUA. And for some reason, he was able to bang the women on the first approach. So you're thinking, is it really a game of skill or emotions? Or is it a game of value and protector status? They're lying through their teeth when they say it's all a skill and whatever. It doesn't matter, because I teach students who are emotional snowflake cunts, autism, and I teach the other psychopaths. And a lot of the Asian students don't have any emotions, guys. That's the big secret. I teach both students just the same. So for the next student, right, this guy is so he's gone from red to green after I changed his style. This guy, oops, I forgot to put like a rating. But this guy is Russian. Good looking guy, very handsome. So he's gone from yellow to green. Yellow because he already had good looks. He's 6 foot tall, so you can see he already was getting results. However, when he became green, he pulled a black woman on the first day of his boot camp when I was training him as gaming elite in 2014. I've been a dating coach since 2013, and I started a game in 2001. I was the first generation PUA. I'm the godfather of PUA. This is not exaggeration, because I was studying Ross Jeffries' game, and accidentally, I didn't know it was night game, because Mystery showed up at 2013. So we're part of the Generation 1 PUAs. Generation 2 is RSD, Tyler, when he fucked over Mystery. Generation 3 is like London Daygame and sort of like a simple pickup. Generation 4 is like the Justin Wayne kind of era. Generation 5 is more related to the funnels, the kind of PUAs that use lifestyle, Instagram, social media. They may not have that much skill or any skill. They have 0 skills, but by putting leads into their funnel and maximizing their status, so they can be like a short Indian guy or something like that, they put all of it into status. That means their Instagram is raising their status, their lifestyle is raising their status, so they can compensate in a different area for their lack of height. So this is one of the ways that you can work around the height issue, is to raise your Instagram. The next student over here is really tall. He is German, and he is 6'6". So you're like, what the fuck? He's gone from a red yellow to yellow green. So for him, he banged a 20-year-old woman. He's 40 years old. He banged a 20. That's way above his look scale. So you can see the height does matter, because he does not have the looks. Height does fucking matter, guys. Holy shit. And the reason why he's like yellow green is because after he learned the social calibrations, it wasn't super hard, but it wasn't super easy for him either. Hope that makes sense. You're like, holy shit, man. All this is like, sorry about the Skype message. A lot of my friends expect women to come to them in 5'8", and I always have to approach height matters so much. Yeah, I understand. So I'm going to give you some tips. Okay, it's not a problem. So the next student, okay, is 15 lays. So he got like 3 lays on my boot camp. Asian guy, 6 foot tall. You're like, what the fuck? He's like a football player looking guy. good social skills, but he went to Thailand afterwards and he banged like 12 more women in a row. So you're thinking to yourself, what the fuck, man? He wanted to see whether or not I can get him results, and he wanted hotter women. He actually seemingly laid one woman who was Asian. He banged a woman twice that's Asian, and she was on her period, and I was in the room that one of the polls. And he fingered in the hostel a 6'2" German blonde. So therefore, for him, he got this kind of results, but he's 6 foot tall and Asian, guys. So you guys are seeing a pattern here. Okay, the next guy, I see what else. Oh yeah. So no wonder I, instead of putting up there, I just put it here. It's the Russian guy again. That's why I put the green here, yellow to green. Let's see who else. Oh, here's another guy. He's an Indian guy. Okay, this guy is 6'4". This guy in Vancouver. This is his first lay. He banged a Filipina, so he's gone from red with no results, and then he banged like a Filipina in a very short amount of time when I taught him. I think it's like way back in 2014, 2000. Yeah, I think so. Way back there. You're like, John, you've been coaching so long. Yeah, I mean, even before I met Justin Wayne, I was a dating coach. So, or before I even knew about him in 2015 or late 2015. So even before I knew about Wayne kind of shit, I was already a dating coach, and I was very good at it. Like so good that you probably think like Gaming Elite might even be a better boot camp instructor than John Wayne. It's like, it's insane. Because when you look at my testimonials for boot camps, there's already 26 of them on the boot camp page, guys. And there's 8 more that's uncredited, but I don't need the credit for that. The runner-up is only 15 when you look at my involvement or you take away my involvement. So having said that, the next guy is a Korean. He's exactly 5'9". He had a mental breakdown over the height issue. This is way back then, guys. This was like 2000 and I think it was like 2014 or 2013, maybe even before that. Early 2013. He was one of the earlier students. So for him, this Korean guy, he's gone from yellow to yellow-green, but in reality it was red because I should put red, yellow. He didn't get any results day game, and he was doing night game. And afterwards, he started training under me. He got like fucking 8 night game lays or something, or 6 lays night game, and 1 girlfriend. So exactly 5'9", he inched that exact height to get that girlfriend. She was Korean, I think, Korean just like him. She was kind of ugly, but he wanted to, wife her up. And I told him not to fucking do it. So, but you can see for him, he got way more results. That's why it was yellow-red. But the 5'9", you can see that it made everything less of a uphill battle, more of a downhill. That he was right on the fucking height. He had a mental fucking breakdown because, oh, am I tall enough? It's like, dude, you're exactly the national fucking average guy. You're national fucking average. You are more than enough. This guy was a 5'11" Filipino. Okay, so you see this guy. You can see my hair is blonde back then, like a K-pop guy. But for this guy, he's half Filipino, half white. He had the most chillest voice in the world, man. He talked like this, Hey, John, you think I can really do Daygame? I never done this shit before. It's like, dude, your voice is perfect. No, man, everyone makes fun of my voice and shit. No, you're so chilled, right? Women are gonna love it. And he's like, really? John, you're just fucking with me. No, dude, your voice is perfect. Just go out there and when he took the boot camp, right? He fucking got laid. Like, on the last day of his boot camp, he already called women and he set up a date. He fucked her, so he got 2 fuck buddies. He's half Filipino, half white, just like the other guy. He likes Asian women. He got 2 Asian women, 2 fobby Asian women, and he was happy. I don't know what happened to this Brazilian. He's 5'7". He was very stubborn, kind of like a sociopathic and shit. Very stubborn. Opinions is facts. He kept trying to do this direct game shit. Afterwards, he pulled on the boot camp. He pulled with another impossible case. And when they both pulled together, he was about to fuck her, but the other impossible case, Asian student, cock blocked because his vibe was so bad. So what happened was he talks, you know how Brazilians, they talk like kind of like you know, hey guys, they talk kind of gayish, like kind of like this, Portuguese and stuff. John, I'm a little bit stubborn. I don't want to fuck her because I don't want to make her a girlfriend. Dude, just make her a girlfriend, fuck her a few times and dump her. No, John. But the thing is that I don't. He talks like JT Trent. Do you do dating in this pandemic? Not as much as I used to. Let's just say that. Not as much as I used to. Maybe a few here and there, but not as much. Definitely not as much. So for me, I could actually die from the pandemic, so I'm just a little bit cautious. I'm old enough. I'm a first generation day gamer. You might think John looks like he's 25 years old. I can guarantee you, I look much. I'm actually way older than 25. I'm at an age where I can be in the hospital and die. So let's just say that. You're like, what the fuck, man? You look like you're 25, or maybe you look like 24 now, or 23. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say, but I don't know what to say. But I'm not gonna risk death. So the students who come to the boot camp, I just want to talk about the boot camp. You have to wear a mask. You have to bring an N95 mask or a 3mm mask. I can't risk dying because if I die, who the fuck is gonna teach you? There's nobody. It's just gonna be emotional snowflake cunt shit that people can't get. Super Saiyans never die. Girls love Korean guys so much. Exactly. So this student over here is 5'10". Okay, so I don't know his results afterwards. So even at his height, he pulled this woman twice, but he thought he had it. He's like, John, I got this. I was like, dude, I'm gonna coach you. No, John, I got this. He fucked it up twice, and then he had a mental breakdown. This is way back then. Way back then. So for him, I put a question mark because I did not know. Joking, stay safe. All right. This student over here, he was 6 foot tall. Okay, the 6 foot tall white guy. For him, he got after my coaching, body language, and he changing his blazers and shit. So he's gone from red. He used to approach a lot, and he wasn't that good at it. He was very like autistic and very like cortisol, over sensory emotions and shit. And then afterwards, the fashion change, he got he lost. It's not like he lost his virginity. He got laid in night game before. He just got his first lay at day game with the Asian women. Afterwards, he got an Asian girlfriend, but that's not related to my coaching because that's night game. If that makes sense. Atticus is shit game, I'm sure. When you think about Bradicus, let me ask you a question. How many day game laid testimonials does Bradicus have? One laid. That's it. So for an advanced guy, why is it only one laid testimonial for his height? He's 6 foot tall. Why only one? And second of all, his golden ratio on his face, I put in the algorithm in the machine. He is 7 out of 10. So you can see the height matters more than the face or the looks. But his looks is not low. 70% means all the women he'll get are all around 70%. The most is 80%, but around there. If that makes sense. This guy is native. He's 5'10.5". So for him, he's tall, but he's gone from yellow to green. He's got a couple blowjobs in Japan. He got a fuck buddy in Vancouver, and also a girlfriend that was not credit to me. That was afterwards. But however, I got him a fuck buddy and a couple of blowjobs. He wasn't that good looking at all. He was half native, half white, by 5'10.5". So for him, it was extremely quick for the results. I tried to switch his game to more indirect. So he never went direct because he couldn't do any of that shit. So this guy, he's a Korean guy. Okay, so he looked quite beefy. It's huge for a Korean guy. For him, it was yellow-green because he was an intermediate, but he had a problem with approach anxiety back then. So for me, I taught him just that one component. So that's why the score is the same. Green or yellow, green, yellow, green. And after he got over that, he got laid and he got a girlfriend. He got 2 girlfriends out of my training, which is great. And yeah, that's really cool. But you can see that height, even for Asian men, can help a lot. But he was more into Asian women. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. You got to understand, for this other guy you're talking about, I'm not going to show the comment. This short little Indian guy, because he didn't have the height, every single time he approaches women, there's always 2 tall white guys next to him. So there's that Bradicus, and there's always like a Adrian G or some kind of Chris Fleifeg. What's his name? Fleifeg. You know, these guys. So whenever he's talking with the women, because there's two guys, he looks like he's a leader of the tribe. If there's one white guy, the white guy, they'll go towards the white guy. If there's two of them, he acts like the leader. Then now they can vibe to SMV. So therefore, his height does not matter as much. Plus, the Instagram shows like a lot of status, so he can move the points from the looks into the Instagram. Hope that kind of makes sense. That's the secret behind it. The sleight of hand is the funnel. This is a Generation 5 PUA type. They don't have any skills, but they know how to set the board game in such a way that it can create conversions through the Instagram or apps or Tinder. A lot of their lays come from Tinder and stuff. Maybe a few of them from Night Game. All right, the next one that he's a Caucasian guy. Okay, he is 6'2". Okay, I think this guy's a bisexual. He later told me that he used the same techniques to bang men and stuff. I was like, ugh. Basically, I didn't want to tell you, John. I didn't want to like make you like feel bad about it. But he also banged a lot of women too. He had 10 dates and he was about to bang 10 women, but he only banged 3 and he quit the game because he turned red eye and it's just too much. So he's gone from red to green. But 6'2" white guy, he became too unstoppable when I coached him. This is way back in 2014-ish era. Okay, so now you can kind of see like all this stuff. So let's continue talking about the facts. Okay, so now that you've seen some of the screenshots, I'm going to add a lot more bootcamp students. I'm 5'9", not tall, bro, but 5'9" is not a bad height. You can boost it just a little bit, like a heel lift or something, just a little bit. It's going to help a lot. But 5'9" is a good height. It's just right on the fucking dot. So we're not talking about Instagram and specific races of people get girlfriends, right? Much easier. But we're just talking about height. So the delusions behind these dating coaches is that they believe is that emotions that gets you laid faster. But in reality, most of my students are not emotional snowflake autistic cunts. Half of them are and the other half are not, but they get the same results. So autism equals emotional. It's the autism traits that are the emotional traits. They're like the high sensory perception. The Asperger's is more like the Elon Musk monotone type. So when they talk about being emotional equals empathy, I think that's the opposite. I think emotions does not equal empathy. Emotions equals low self-esteem, high ego. Now, what's the height of the shortest student that you ever taught? I think like 5'3" or something. That's probably the shortest. I'm North African. I get 0 matches on Tinder. Well, you gotta think on Tinder that Africans are the lowest rated. I showed this before on the scientific part of the video that says, does race matter or online dating does not count. All right, for the next thing. Next thing is that, yeah, Asperger's is emotional, but it also means it's a bad thing. Because if you're triggered and you're a snowflake, it means high ego, low self-esteem. Triggered, low. See that? And if you have high ego, it is part of the dark triad, which is sociopathy, sociopathy, narcissism, and Machiavelli manipulation. So a lot of these dating coaches, they have that. They're deluded as fuck, and they believe it's all their game. So therefore, they believe it's skill, it's game, it's not their height, or it's not the race advantage that gets them a girlfriend, which we can look at the science is complete and utter fucking bullshit. Is complete utter bullshit. So let's continue to the science, because I went to psychology today. Okay, I went to psychology today, and this is what they say. Okay, hold on a second. All right. I just made all the text big so I can read it. Without glasses, I can't read shit. Okay, if you look at the second side of the chart, after they got trained by me, so I claim that in 5'9" or above, height plays a big role. So when it comes to dating, education, and earnings, is being tall more of an advantage, or being short is more of a liability? Women prefer to date taller men. Tall men attract more desirable partners. On average, women have a strong preference for tall men. In fact, women care more about dating taller men than men care about dating shorter women. I'm reading this from Psychology Today, guys. This is from article. So it's not a theory. This is going to be not opinions as facts. This is going to be facts as opinions, guys. This is going to shock you. Okay. So when it comes to dating, education, and earnings, is being tall more of an advantage? Is being short more of a liability? Number one, women prefer to date taller men. Tall men attract more desirable partners. On average, women have a strong preference for tall men. In fact, women care more about dating taller men than men care about dating shorter women. Okay, so a study on women and men's height preferences found that women are the most satisfied when their partner was 8 inches, 21 centimeters taller. You're like, shit. Men are most satisfied when they are 3 inches taller than their partner. Another study found that among men, 13.5% prefer to date only women shorter than them. But among women, about half, 48.9%, prefer to date only men taller than them. You're like, shit, what the fuck, man? So you're saying, based on Psychology Today, there's more to this fucking article, guys. There's way more to this fucking article. This is gonna mind fuck you. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? Let me turn on the lights now. Right? That way you can see me a lot better. Okay? Now you're like, holy shit. So let's read through the article. You're like, this might be a mind fuck. So on study on women and men's height preference found women are most, like I said, 8 inches taller. So if she's 5'3", then another 8 inches is gonna be quite tall. Me like 5'11". So let's see, 48.9% prefer to date only a men taller. Related, a study about height and the human mate choice found that, and on average, the shortest man a woman would date is 5'9". Wait a fucking minute. A study about height and human mate choice found that on average, the shortest man a woman would date is 5'9". What the fuck? How do they know my exact 5'9" height theory? It was actually in a psychological study. I was so accurate based on all my student results. I reverse engineered it. If you guys find this information helpful, give it a thumbs up, because this is some real shit here, guys. There's no spin here. There's no spin doctoring. That means these taller guys above 5'9", these dating coaches, they have no fucking game. They have no fucking skills and no fucking game. Holy shit. The most handsome coach is James Tuss. I'm a guy, and I see him. The thing about James Tuss is that his golden ratio is very low. It's like 72%. So the women that he can bang, the golden ratio is the face and where it is on the algorithm. So for James Tuss, he told me, because I met James Tuss before, or I talked to him online, and he told me, John, I can only bang women who are like 7s, 6s, and 5s mostly. But the ones who are higher, it's harder for him to bang, although he is a psychopath, a sadistic psychopath. For him, however, his golden ratio plus his height is like an arrow theory. The golden ratio for the tip of the arrow is only 72%. His height is a longer arrow, and his muscles is a wider feather. And you can see why he can go through 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s easy. I know that sounds awful, but the golden ratio is something I will cover in a future YouTube live. What about 6 foot tall guys who can't get women? Usually are the main issue socials. Yeah, it's 100% for taller guys who are 6 foot tall that cannot get women are usually a social skills issue or some type of autism. They're socially impaired and they're emotionally kind of turning women off. And the second thing I've seen with taller 6 foot guys is that they have narrow shoulders. It's kind of like the arrow theory. Even if they're a long arrow and stuff, and we don't know their golden ratio, they could be very tall, but their golden ratio might be a 6 out of 10. But the arrow, because they have the lack of muscle, the arrow is very thin, so it's very hard for the arrow to penetrate or for them to get laid. So they should be thinking about widening the V shape of the back. Hope that makes sense, guys. If they don't widen the V shape, they're kind of fucked. That's the secret. So it depends on the golden ratio and height, but you can see height does matter. That means if I taught this 6 foot tall student and he was not autistic and he was able to absorb what I'm teaching, guess what will happen? You get laid so fast. You get laid super fast. His height will become not a liability, it'll become an asset. But only after he's been learning social skills and social calibrations in the body language. No amount of emoting when he has autism is gonna help him. That's the big fucking lie. The big fucking lie. Okay, related study about height and human mate choice found that on women, the shortest man a woman would date is 5'9" tall, and the shortest woman a man would date is 5'1". So in the same studies, researchers found that 23% of men and 4% of women will accept a relationship where the woman was taller. So 23% men, I like taller women a lot. And 4% of women will accept a relationship where the man was taller. What does that mean? 23% men and 4% of women will accept the relationship where the woman was taller. So the women will not accept in a relationship a man that is not taller than her. So you can, if you're talking about having a girlfriend and 4% of them will not want them to be taller than a man, then the whole idea of, emoting to get a girlfriend is complete, utter fucking shit, bullshit, fucking lying through your teeth. Bullshit, because scientifically, if 4% of women will not want to have a boyfriend who is shorter, then it has nothing to do with game. It's just her type. Like I taught you before, it's the type. Now you're looking at the science. You're like, oh my God, John, this is so fucking cold. I'm sorry to tell you the truth, guys. This is in psychology today. This is all done with psychological studies. This is all done with all that shit. This is a science. This is not an art. Fuck art. Whenever they talk about all this shit that is emotions or game or some shit like that, is because they know how to get inside your wallet and take all your money. That's the whole thing. They want to tell you what you want to hear. They don't want to tell you the truth that they have no fucking game. They have zero fucking game. They're just tall. They're in a pre-selective race where they can get a girlfriend if they're looking tall, like black, white, Latino, or Middle Eastern. Therefore, they have zero game or very little just to get over that line. So they believe they're emoting, they're sociopathic, they're delusional, and they think that they're going out there and they're doing very well. And they're in reality, they're just SMVing it. Now that we look at the stats, guys, the stats tell you everything. Height does fucking matter. And for day gamers, you have to approach more when you're shorter. And here's what people don't want to hear. Averagely, if you have not worked on your social calibrations from Elite 30 or social skills, every single inch you are away from the 5'9", 5'8", 5'7" is an extra 150 approaches. Without, if you just RSDing it, if you're just spam approaching, that is exactly 150 approaches more. So that's 150 plus, let's say you're 5'4", plus another 150, plus another 150. You're like, fuck, man. That's why every inch counts. My Pakistani mentor with an 82% golden ratio in the face, he's 5'11". He's not attractive. He's 5'11", guys. He's not short. He's not a short guy. And the whole looks theory, I'm going to deal with it in the future, is now you're starting to see, like, holy fuck, man. This is probably the most upsetting YouTube live for a lot of people. That means you need to be so much better. You need to have a better Instagram. You gotta wear some fucking elevator shoes. Now you're starting to realize your social skills and social calibrations need not emotions. Fuck emotions. Because when a short student emotes, he doesn't get over that line. Elevator shoes noticeable? Yes, they are noticeable, but you will need the pants to cover them on the back. So that way it's less noticeable. You need to buy longer pants just to cover that other area too. Holy shit. This is, I think for a lot of people, this is very, very upsetting. So now you realize you got to work on your social skills, your Instagram. You got to boost your height. This is not a theory, guys. Women, a lot of people are dropping off because this is just way too fucked up. So finally, the researchers have found that women married to taller men report being in better health, having lower body mass index, more education, and higher incomes compared to women married to shorter men. What the fuck? So that even helps her on a survival value level. What the fuck? I can't believe that line. The shortest a woman would date is 5'9". So when you think about it, a lot of these guys, they're not exactly dealing with cold traffic, because when you're shorter, you're probably gonna deal with cold traffic. That means you're going for women who are not into you. They're not into you as a genetic height thing. It can also be a race thing too, depending on how much of a positive stereotype. Arrow theory is everything. So if you're shorter, you're gonna be cold traffic. If you're 5'9", you're gonna be more warm traffic. If you're around like 5'11" to 6'2", which is the most ideal height, you're gonna be more hot traffic, like my Pakistani mentor. He doesn't want to admit it. A lot of people in inner circle are value deniers in the beginning, but I think he's starting to like get it now. He's starting to get it. So a lot of people, they want to always dismiss the value because they're sociopaths. I fuck girls with boyfriends. So have I. Lots of them. The thing is, most women will cheat if they find somebody like a side fuck, like a fuck boy type. So they can fuck on the side, but they'll never see you as a relationship type. If that makes sense. That makes sense. So basically, spam approaching, let's see. So women are very shallow below height. So according to Psychology Today, let's continue. Participants viewed short men as less socially attractive, less successful, less physically attractive, less well-adjusted, holy fuck, less masculine, and both average and tall men. So average and tall men did not differ on those characteristics, but the participants view tall men as more athletic than average and short men. The researchers state that shortness is more of a liability than tallness is an asset. So basically, participants view short men as less as socially attractive, less successful, physically attractive, less. Are you guys seeing a pattern here? So by being shorter, women have interpreted guys as being less survival value and also less replication value. So they hit on both notes subconsciously. Holy shit. This is not a limiting belief. It means you need to bring value and to compensate it in other areas. And you got to stop saying, oh, automatically you get a girlfriend, unless you want to go for the same race as you. Now you're starting to see just people just talking bullshit. Girls who cheat on their boyfriends with you ever be wife material? Or how would someone know? And girls who cheat on you, the thing is, no matter what, women are going to cheat. When she sees a guy with more value, she's going to cheat no matter what. She can be very loyal, but there is always going to be a guy out there she would cheat with. A guy out there she would cheat with. Because maybe the boyfriend that she's with at that current time, she didn't cheat on him because he's higher value than her. You know what I mean? Because sometimes taller, good-looking guys, they get a woman and the woman's more into them, but the guy cheats. But, however, women would cheat all the fucking time. Anytime they have a guy that has higher value, they'll cheat on the side, and then they'll go back to the relationship because they're in different frames. One's more of the husband material or more of the boyfriend-girlfriend. The other one's more of the fuck boy. So that's like, you got to think evolutionary psychology. Sometimes the guys who are they're the boyfriend type, the beta males, they'll raise the kid that's not theirs because the woman will fuck the guy with a tall height, muscles, and Neanderthal gene. And he will raise the offspring, but he doesn't know that's not his kid. Hope that kind of makes sense. That's why women cheat, because it's part of evolutionary psychology. You're like, oh my God, that sounds really fucking awful, John. Holy shit, man. Creative vibe opener is still working. It really depends, but I will use adaptive openers, especially during the weekends, because they expect PUAs to be there. You're better off using adaptive openers. Creative can work on Mondays to Thursdays, but not on Fridays to Sundays, because it sounds like a PUA line. So that's what I think. So sperm wars, exactly it. Yeah, I'm just speaking some real shit here. This is all evolutionary psychology, guys. So everyone else who tells you any differently than me, and they're telling you different than the actual psychology, the science, they are all after your money. All they want is your money. They want to spin things, and they believe that their sheep audience are so stupid that you show them a couple infields or you self-proclaimed stats. You self-proclaim lazy, you self-proclaim shit. And what happens is that you give up the authority to them, which is your mental filter. You no longer have critical thinking. So you become sheeps. But that's the problem with appealing to the sheeps during COVID-19, the pandemic. My students are not sheeps. They don't have that much emotions, and they're hardcore, the perfect killers of Daygame. Out there, they're the ones who gets laid. Because I got 435 laid poll testimonials, and a lot of the students are not emotional. When they're emotional, I have to yell at them more. Like you've seen. Have you guys really enjoyed the bootcamp clip so far? I did not edit it. But you can see the student's very emotional, but he's 5'11". So it didn't affect him. It didn't affect him. But yeah, in some ways, the height did matter. He got 3 lays over his height. Hope that makes sense. It's all a science, guys. There is no fucking theory. There's no art. The whole game thing, that they're just value deniers, red pill. It's all bullshit. And of course, if you approach like 1,000 times or maybe 2,000, you eventually, even if you're short, you'll fuck somebody, maybe. You'll fuck somebody eventually. You're not here to play a numbers game. Boost your fucking height, change your fashion, fix your hairstyle, improve your social skills, build that Instagram, guys. Of course, you should join the inner circle. If you guys are big fans, you should join the inner circle, especially JP over here, because you'll be learning more stuff than the playbook in the Elite 30 combined. There's that many videos there, and there's that much material. It's only for my disciples. Just fucking sign up already. Stop wasting time. It's cheaper. But that's the thing, though. The students that are still here listening to me, a lot of you probably still have jobs because you're not emotional, and you find me more appealing. I'm still making money during COVID-19. All the red pill dating coaches are, have you noticed this? The red pill dating coaches during the lockdown, they were not here, were they? Were they here? No, they all retreated. Have you noticed that? And I was still here giving value and teaching you guys. James Tuss doesn't day game anymore. He just puts the pass infield and got a very hot girlfriend. I've seen her and she's like, wow. Oh, congratulations to James the psychopath Tusk. Congratulations to him. But you guys are starting to get this, that, you know, so James Tusk, if he's tall, like 6 foot tall or something, and he got a girlfriend and, you know, she's hot, that's just the thing, though. That's just the thing. It's just the height matters a lot. And if women are not willing to date guys shorter than them in their relationship, if she's taller than them, then guys have a smaller selection, because the shorter the woman is, the taller the guy that she wants, because her genetics are fucked up. Her fucking munchkin sort of dwarf-like genetics at 5'1", she wants the tallest motherfucker, like a 6'7" guy that she can get, so that she can fix her fucking genetic code. Hope that makes sense. But height always matters, guys. Height matters a great fucking deal. What about value? Women have a racial preference. White men over the most preferred race. It's over. 100% true. So I would go back and I will watch the video about what races get girlfriends. And I showed you in a chart before. When I showed the people this stuff, it's I showed the exact scientific charts of Tinder and online dating. White men have the highest response rate. Black men have the lowest response rate. Asians are way down there next to Indians. Does that make sense? Asian women have the highest sought after, and black women have the least sought after. But it's all a statistical science, guys. There's a race thing. And that's why certain races get girlfriends faster. And now you realize that certain height gets laid faster. The guys who are shorter, if they have to make more approaches, they better work on Elite 30. The faster you work on Elite 30, the faster you pull and get laid. I know that sounds really fucked up, but that's the biggest equalizer, because you're working on social skills and social calibrations at the same motherfucking time. It's just such a science, guys. Social skills matter, because even in the blue pill, that's how they get girlfriends. Yes, it's a hard pill to swallow. I know a lot of this is really upsetting. It just means more approaches, guys, for some of you. Or get some fucking elevator shoes, not heel lifts. Heel lifts only give you 1.5 inches in your shoes. 1.5 inches is not enough to get you higher, because you might be 5'7", you're still 5'8.5", guys. You're not past the 5'9" national average that women want to date. unless you want a good Instagram, it's all about 20 out of 35, guys. Holy shit. So a participant view men and short men as less socially attractive, less successful, less physically attractive, less well-adjusted. Yeah, okay, we'll skip the next part. So I also showed that in this picture, I also showed, which is very, very unique, that the guys who got girlfriends, as you can see, the same students as before. You remember this, guys? 1 second. So I put a check mark on all the students that got girlfriends. And I hate to tell you this, but they all have a race advantage. So the first guy is a 5'11" Asian guy. Do you remember this guy that screwed me over for $2.2 million? Autistic snowflake cunt sociopath. This guy, he got a girlfriend, and no matter how bad he treats her, because she's lower on the look scale and she's like Korean, she is the third. He's third woman that he fucked during that 3 weeks. The last one was Korean. And what happened was he asked her to marry him. So, but for him, at 5'11", he has no emotional connection. So for those people claiming that you need an emotional connection, I had to teach him how to connect with women. He could not do it. He didn't give a fuck about her. He was sadistic. But she will never leave him because he's tall, good-looking guy, and also he has some muscles on him. Fucking height matters. No matter how many times he failed in life, I told him, you kept bouncing back because the halo effect. They always assume that because you're taller and stuff, you're more trustworthy. You're like, whoa, shit, man. What the fuck? So it's demoralizing, but the truth will set us free. Double down on Elite 30 will do. Yeah, triple down on Elite 30 and wear some elevator shoes. This is a war, and this is a battle of passing on your genes. I will go through Elite 30 as many times as possible. If you suck at day one, which is the happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe, and I can talk to you guys with this happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe. So if people think John Elite does not have emotions, right? That John is not an emotional guy, or, I can sound like, when I'm talking to you guys, I can sound very, very empathetic, guys. Listen to this. I'm probably more emotional than a lot of these dating coaches when they pretend to be emotional before they start brainwashing you. You can hear my tonality. John can be very emotional, but how the fuck does John do it? John is completely mastered his emotions. Imagine I was manipulating all of you using these emotions, guys. If I got you emotional first, then I start manipulating you afterwards. I can manipulate all the audience here. But why does John not use all these emotions? And John can be like, very, very flirty and very sexualized. How does John, because you can feel it, can you not? John has a complete mastery over his emotions. How does John do all this stuff? How does John do all this stuff when he's talking with women? John can adapt to women because a lot of this stuff, I didn't want to manipulate my audience. John is not going to manipulate his audience. I can manipulate any of you. I can make you feel any emotion I want you to feel. And I can make funny jokes and stuff. I can self-amuse. I can do all that stuff. And you guys can feel it in my system. But John is not going to manipulate his audience because John's not a sociopathic, narcissistic Machiavelli manipulator. But John can perfectly feel all these emotions. Holy shit, guys. You're probably thinking, what happens if John uses this on women? Women have every right to be manipulated. But just because I use the emotions, it is not enough without the social skills and the body language, guys. Even if I had the perfect emotional intelligence and I could make the funniest jokes, excuse me, I just have a quick question. You look like you're very artistic and creative, or creative and artistic. I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying. I'm talking to you right now, and I'm curious about you. It's kind of weird because COVID-19, and I'm wearing a mask, and you're wearing a mask. This is what I look like underneath it. By the way, my name is Jonathan. My name is Jonathan Elite. How are you doing? If I can hit all these emotional notes, it is not enough. The body language and social skills is 50% of the chart. It'll go 50 times further than goddamn fucking emotions and a little bit of the kind of game that's designed for taller guys. So do you agree with the black pill theory of just be white theory? So pretty much it's all us. I don't believe anything about the black pill because the looks theory is wrong. It is about arrow theory. It's about the golden ratio. So therefore, black pill does not understand social skills because black pill is sort of like autistic. All of them. It's not to demoralize you, to tell you that autistic, but black pill, all of them are autistic in their sociopathic opinions as facts. So they live in a world where they look at the maxilla and they look at these bone theories and the jawline, and they look at all this bullshit theories. They're blaming something else. It's all about the golden ratio, guys. So the golden ratio where your face is, you can see the algorithm. All the dating coaches gets women on the golden ratio. If they get higher and they're a short Indian guy with a low golden ratio, the tall white guys next to them, the two of them, will raise the golden ratio overall. This is a wingman game, but you always ignore the sleight of hand, the magic trick. So yes, the golden ratio and the height and the race in the muscle for the arrow, the feather, is the real theory, guys. So you should be optimizing that. And black pill should be taking ashwagandha so they don't feel so emotional. They can lower down the cortisol. And when these guys are very emotional, unless you're tall and a positive stereotype, the emotions can work against you. If you're tall and stuff, then it can work for you. But the height matters a lot. It looks theory, the bone theory looks theory is bullshit because James Tusk is only 72% for his golden ratio. And the women he gets outside of his girlfriend, mostly all his lays are like 7s and 6s and 5s. Maximize your looks, control your emotions, learn social skills. Yeah, and work on your Instagram. So join the inner circle and learn the Instagram secrets. I will not release it in the course. I don't want the algorithms out there outside my disciples. And please tell me if you join inner circle, who you are on the YouTube live, because I'm not going to let everyone in the inner circle. I'm only going to let in a very small amount of people here, only like 1 or 2 of you at most. I'll tell the rest of you to fuck off because these are my disciples. These are the people that are my superstars. They're all over they're all inside the inner circle. All the students that got testimonials, you're going to see alumni of students who already got results from my coaching. You're like, holy fuck, man. Then you better step up your game. You're seeing superstars everywhere. It is a place of, of these superstars. And some of these fucking assholes are so ungrateful they don't want to take it. There are a few people like that. So let's continue. So you can see certain races get girlfriends and certain heights get laid faster. So what is the halo effect? What's the halo? People automatically trust tall dating coaches. Why? So the halo effect means tall people make more money. Economics calls it the height premium. More height is associated with higher earnings. One study has found that for men and women, 1 inch increase in height in association with 1.4 to 2.9% increase in weekly earnings. What the fuck? Another study has found that an inch of height is associated with earning nearly $800 more per year. This suggests that men who are 6 foot tall earns on average about $160,000 more over a 30-year career compared to men who are 5 foot 5 inches tall. What the fuck? And if you look at the number of CEOs, okay, I'm going to type in CEO, 6 foot tall or higher. I want to see the stats, okay? So according to this, so the height has not changed for SEO, for 14% of all men. Okay, so 58% of all CEOs are over 6 foot tall. What the fuck, man? And the general American population is 3.9% of the adult men are 6 foot 2 or taller. So according to this CEOs, when you look at tall dating coach versus me, you automatically trust the tall dating coach because of the halo effect. Because you're already associating in your brain that they're more of a leadership, they're healthier, you just make the wrong associations. Hope that makes sense. I only got like yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Halo effect, guys. Holy shit. Can you stop using words like ethnics and all this sort of like black pill shit? I don't believe in black pill. Probably the best place is Asia or Eastern Europe, where race is not a huge factor, but I would agree with you. Eastern Europe, you might still have to make some approaches more than like you still have to spam approach if you're short and you don't have elite 30. You don't have elite 30, you still need to do a lot of that. So it doesn't mean Asians have any sort of advantage over Eastern Europe. But if you're tall and you're in Eastern Europe, you're decent looking or you're decent looking, it'll help. There is still a value. But the thing about Eastern Europe is that you kind of like in Asia, looks, money, status, and game. It's kind of like you cross off the status. So it's mostly looks, your money, and your game or social skills. So you mix those. That's what they look at. They cross off the race. It depends. Some places like tall black people better. In Europe, when you're tall and black, you're very exotic. In Eastern Europe and stuff, it is almost a huge tactical advantage being tall and black. It's not even game. It's just being tall and black because you're exotic. That some women want to be outside the tribe because their whole tribe is all white. They want to be a different race. So they have this jungle fever. And even if you're not black and you look black and you're like a different race, they'll still treat you as black because they don't fucking know. They'll make associations. But the height matters a lot because when they're taller, they get more warm traffic, warm to hot, rather than cold traffic. Hope that makes sense. It's not even about the accent. It's not even about any of this shit. It's more like about they can't tell what accent it is if the race looks different than the accent. Just like my old roommate who's Latino and he's 6 foot tall. He looks like a Latino. He sounds Indian, but to them, they have no idea what race he is. Tall blacks in Sydney, 100% true. Exactly. Even the ugly dudes get so much attention. I'm telling you, in Daygame, blacks, tall blacks are number 2. You can see the students getting laid so much easier because women have so much attraction. On Tinder, they have all this sort of negative association with blacks. They think, oh, George Floyd, they think looting, they think like criminal, they think gangsters, and they're scared. But when they see a tall black guy in real life and they assume like a fucking 10-inch dick, big muscles and tall height, is different. Women don't know what they want until it is in front of them. How come there's only 3 likes? Is this too hardcore for you guys? This might be way too hardcore. I believe that this is too much of a mind fuck for some of you. If it could be the biggest, thank you. That at least I know that people are more receptive to it. It just means that you haven't accepted this stuff. Another study has found every inch, right, makes 100,000 more. So where's the halo effect and why do you trust day game coaches? Halo effect, sometimes called the halo error, is a tendency for positive impressions of a person, company, or brand or product in one area to positively influences one's opinions or feelings in other areas. It is a type of cognitive bias and is the opposite of the Horn effect. Automatically, you deem the person more trustworthy. The better way to get the halo effect than to have height, or what better way to get halo effect to get height? Are you starting to see this? So this halo effect is a real effect. You're like, what the flying fuck? So you automatically trust people like James Tusk. You trust taller people, taller day game coaches. And you have to ask yourself, of all the day game coaches, how many percentage of the day game coaches is taller than John Elite? 99% or 98 or 95 or they're all taller than me. What the fuck? It's a halo effect. That's why I only got 600 subscribers, because it's the halo effect. It's a cognitive bias. You're like, holy shit, man. This is the truth. Even ugly dudes get so much attention. Black, yeah, exactly. This is so fucking truthful. A lot of you, this is just hard to stomach. Holy shit, that you trust all these tall dating coaches automatically just because it's a cognitive bias. Holy fucking shit. That's so almost like unfair, but that's how the mind works. And women have the same halo effect towards taller men. They assume that they have better genes, they have more protector status, and they're better for procreation. The whole thing is that the world really loves height. The world loves height, and our shadow looks theory in the future. Our shadow looks theory. Every single dating coach, you can see the women that they get is identical to the golden ratio that they get. That means there is no fucking, they say, oh, I'm ugly, therefore I'm getting hot women. Or I'm really good looking, but I'm not getting. It's the golden ratio, guys. It has nothing to do with the goddamn fucking you know, the game, they think it's the game or skills. No, just get enough social skills, enough body language, some emotions that are correct. And the game is just basically pulling tactics, instigating, objections, dealing, sexualizing it, and closing. And the problem is that when they don't have the left brain working properly, they're always depending on alcohol and wrestling with the women. That may be okay in Eastern Europe where the law is very lax. You don't get in trouble. But if you do that too much in the United States, you will eventually have a rape charge. A rape charge because you don't know how to deal with the objections. You just go in there, get her drunk as shit, and try to wrestle with her. And the autistic people are like, well, this dating coach is so good. They're so good. But in reality, that's called systematic exported rape. That's what it is. It's rapey as shit. That's not seduction. That's not seduction. Seduction, she needs to close. You need to sexualize it. You need to deal with the objections. She has to be into you where you don't have to wrestle with her. That's illegal. Let's see, guys, whatever it's worth, I've been in the seduction community for 11 years, and I can tell you this is all true. But don't let it delimitate you. Go out and learn it anyways. Learn it from the right coach and study Elite 30, guys, and boost your height. You might have to do more approaches. It doesn't mean just because you're under 5'9" that is game over. It just means every single inch is 150 extra approaches for guys who did not learn Elite 30. The social skills and social calibration. I'm sorry to say that, but you're going to have to add more approaches on top of it. It's just the guys over 5'9", they're just going to play in downhill battle. They're going to close faster than you. I hate to say it, guys. It's just, that's how it is. They're going to close faster than you. And so it's not all game. You may have the best game in the world. In reality, sometimes you might have to do more approaches. Sometimes you got to work on more than game. Game is only 25%. You got to work on social skills, social calibrations. And they might think, oh, because people don't get along with them, therefore they have bad social skills. But the person that doesn't get along with you may be a snowflake, cunt, autistic fuck with narcissism and low self-esteem. And they don't like to be like, they don't like the abrasiveness. A lot of people, they don't mind me in real life. I can socialize with anyone. I can talk in their tonality if I wanted to. Just like TV show Friends. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Oh, yeah, just like checking this out. I'm teaching YouTube Live. So what are you doing right now? Oh, yeah, I mean, I totally see what you mean. I was in the same situation myself. So for me personally, I mean, COVID-19 is pretty shitty, right? How has things been going? I know it's not that great. I hear you, bro. So this is like the social skills. It's like a social lubricant. I could do it very well. I could talk to people like that, but I don't feel like it. Emotionally, I don't give a fuck about them like that. So, but I can do it just as well as anyone can if I wanted to. I just don't do it. I can manipulate the audience. I can tell people like this. You can see me talking in a very caring way. And if you say John doesn't have emotions, John has the most calibrated emotions in the world. It's just John does not want to wear a mask. Antisocial people, the dating coaches, most of the dating coaches are sociopath. When they're wearing a mask, they're antisocial because the mask is going against society by changing the personality to game people. They don't feel empathy. They have a cerebral empathy. They're always thinking about manipulation. They believe that they can read the woman's emotions. I can read her emotions. I just don't care. I just don't give a fuck. I really don't. I can see if she's upset. I know what she's feeling, but I just don't feel it and I don't give a fuck. But I know it's there. I know it's there. I can calibrate to it if you want. I can show you like fucking infields of me being so fucking calibrated perfectly. So the ideas for my students, the shorter guys, you need to learn how to be more of a terminator. You need to be more of a psychopath rather than a sociopath type. And don't be scared of the name psycho. It just means lack of empathy type or more of the deluded type, emotional deluded or lack of empathy. Maybe we shouldn't call it psychopath. So just my students are more on this side. The hardware is more suitable for this side. So therefore social skills is more suitable for this one. The other deluded emotional one is more suited for like, you know, dressing nicer, being tall, good body language. That'll get them over the line. They don't need much emotions. Have you noticed my last bootcamp student? Did you see me teaching him emotional intelligence? You saw me teaching him social skills, right? You saw me fixing his body language, but how come I didn't teach him emotions? What about the guy before him? Two same day lays, the bald guy. I taught him emotions. How come one of them learning emotions, the other is not? Because every student is different. Not everyone needs emotions. As long as they're a certain height and they have a certain fashion, positive stereotype, it becomes easier. I hate to tell you guys this. I'm sorry to tell you. It's not about looks, theories, this and that. I just basically changed my students from a negative stereotype to a positive. I fix up their fucking hair. Aesthetically, now they're a positive stereotype husband material. Husband material is the first in line because women wants to get married. For the boyfriend, they don't fit into the boyfriend zone because she's gonna go and bang 10 guys, 10 boyfriends throughout the years, and she's gonna marry the 11th one. And she's gonna cheat on them on the side with some other guy, some guy with no job, and he's tall as shit, and he doesn't give a fuck. Then she might get pregnant by accident, and then the guy's gonna raise her, or she's gonna get aborted, and she's gonna cheat on him again. That's how life is. It's evolutionary psychology, guys. This is not a theory. It's not a theory. So let's see. Every time you ignore him, short men report being less healthy. A team of researchers collected data from 1,600 or 165,606 people in the United States, including self-reported health. They scale contained 5 categories: poor, fair, good, very good, and excellent. The results have revealed that shorter men reported worse health than taller men. Furthermore, they also found that shorter men married women who reported worse health than women married to taller men. So as the researchers put it, short men were less educated, less healthy, had a higher body mass index, and a lower household income than taller men. Women were given height who were paired with shorter partners also tended to be less healthy, less educated, and with a higher body mass index than women of the same height who were paired with taller partners. Isn't this strange, guys? What the fuck, man? This is some real shit. So they're saying that shorter guys, according to women, does not see them as having as much survival and replication value. Oh my God. Holy shit. So this is why it's important to make some fucking money, have a good lifestyle, something to compensate, good social skills, the ability to connect. Emotions are not super important. The social skills will take care of most of your issues with women and society. Most of society. The emotions are kind of weird. Imagine you're in a social situation and the guy's all emotional like a snowflake cunt. You're like, what's wrong with you, man? Why are you so emotional, dude? Bro, relax. You're so emotional, man. You get teased. Like, oh my God, something's wrong with that guy. That's what happens. This is why these PUA dating coaches, they're not like, they're antisocial. They'll fuck everyone over that they can fuck over around them. Everyone that they can fuck over. It's like there's a knife and they're just like, just can't wait to stab every motherfucker. They'll be like, oh my God. They'll be like, so for them, they'll be like, oh, let's stab this motherfucker. Next guy. Anyone that's close to them, the sociopathic dark tetrad. Exactly the guy who fucked me over for $2.2 million. For that motherfucker, when he fucked me over for $2.2 million, he also fucked over everyone. They always have the same kind of characteristics. Their eyes look like a serial killer. They're always manipulative, and they think nobody can see it. They think nobody can fucking see it. And that's a big problem. So let's see. Guys, remember, this is the truth. Must increase our value in social skills. I will fight for every single improvement in your social skills. I will fight for every inch of your height. I will fight for every single good Instagram secrets in your Instagram to boost your status and lifestyle. Document your lifestyle. I will fight for every single body language improvement in Elite 30. I will fight for everything. Emotions are not the first thing you should focus on. And there's talking about game. Game is just a value delivery system, guys. That's the big thing. They're like, oh, game this, game that. Game equals money. Game, money. I want money. Give me money. Game, money. Game, money. I'm talking about science. So basically, game is very simple. Let's draw some shit on this board before I conclude. So basically, It's very simple. So the value, height, all that other shit. And this is game. So the higher the value it is, and this is the line of fuckability. The higher you are, the easier it is to vibe over that line. So if you're a tall black guy, 8 out of 10, it doesn't take much, right? Tall white, tall Latino, tall Middle Eastern. Asians a little bit harder. They need to do more approaches to get over that line. More skills, more social skills, more height, more boosting the value, more wider shoulders, guys. Wider fucking shoulders makes the arrow fly better. So if this is the arrow theory, and this is your golden ratio in the front, you're a short Asian, guess what? When you're a fucking short Asian, your arrow is shorter. Get some fucking heel lifts. It's harder to penetrate. Right? When you add a little bit of height, now it'll penetrate more. Does that make sense? And when you widen your shoulders, which is very important, it's not about gaining more muscles, it's about widening your back. So that way your back kind of looks like this, you know what I mean? Like a bodybuilder. Their arms are kind of like this. My Pakistani mentor has the arms hanging out like a fucking gorilla here. But when you have this sort of thing over here, you see what I mean? Women start to see this shape here. Small waist, big back. And what is the biggest part of the woman? Isn't it her hips? So for women, the biggest part of the woman is her hips. So when you look at a woman's figure, right? So this is her boobs and shit, okay? But for her, it's the hip to waist ratio. So for her, it's like the hip to waist ratio. You see that? So the woman, the biggest part is obviously the hips. Versus the man, which is, it's not just the abs and stuff, it's the, you see this shape the most right here. You see that? So this is the widest point. You want the widest point to be like her widest point. Now you're like, holy shit, this is all evolutionary psychology. John has cracked the code for the whole fucking world. This is a science. Go work on your fucking arrow. Fix it. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Like, why not work on the fucking arrow theory? So if it's about value, this is the truth of increase. Exactly. Are you guys starting to get this? Give it a thumbs up if you're actually getting this. Oh yeah, my boot camp is going to be like less than a week before I cut off all the deals. So you get more days because of COVID-19. Just to let you guys know. I don't want to be a marketer type, but just to let you know that there is a boot camp and there's one more week left. And all the pandemic deals would change afterwards. I'm going to get rid of all the deals probably. I might extend the bundle. I'm not sure if I should. Or maybe add the inner circle and take away the Skype. Maybe add it for 6 months, like, or something like that. In 3 months for the Elite 30. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe something like that. That way you can still join the Elite inner circle and you can learn a lot. So is there anything else? I found my PayPal receipt. Can I send it to you? So what's your PayPal receipt going to do? You're not going to be part of the inner circle because you show me your fucking receipt. Anyways, let's continue. Contact me later somehow. But now you know what to do. Work on your shoulders and also work on boosting your height and work on improving your fashion so you fit into the right frame. Husband material. And lastly, improve your Instagram. I bought your products. Okay? So what does that mean? You bought my products. What, do you want like the Google Drive version? Like what are you asking me? What are you trying to ask me? All right. I think that concludes what I wanted to say today. So, like I said, for these other dating coaches who are very tall, okay? Yes, the G Drive. All right, contact me, okay? Contact me. So basically, they're all delusional. All the tall, delusional, sociopathic, autistic, emotional dating coaches are delusional. So what does delusions mean? What does delusions mean? A delusion is a firm and fixed belief on an inadequate grounds, not amenable to rational argument with evidence to the contrary, not in sync with the regional, cultural, and educational background. as a pathology, it is distinct from a belief based on a false or incomplete information, confabulation, dogma, illusion, or some misleading effect of perception. So a delusion is a firm fixed belief based on inadequate grounds, not amenable to rational argument, just like right now, or evidence to the contrary, which I showed of the student results, and also all the science, not in sync with the regional, cultural, educational background, which I talked about. As a pathology, pathology means like the mental illness. It is a distinct from a belief-based or false or incomplete information. Confabulation means like a bullshit belief. Dogma and illusion of the same misleading effect of perception. Perception means like what you see in here. So therefore, all of this supports my belief system, which is supported by science and evolutionary psychology. There is no theories what I'm teaching you. And the problem with these sociopathic dating coaches, it's all game. It's all game, John. It's all game. Whenever you hear the term it's all game, guess what's happening? You're being gamed by them. They're deluded as fuck. You're dealing with a sociopath cult leader. This is not a cult. This is like unbrainwashing you from the cult, guys. Unbrainwashing you. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Everything I'm teaching you guys is the truth all this time. So let's cut through the lies. The truth will set you free. They should stop spinning everything. They never believe it is their value. They always believe it is their game. They don't believe they're just vibing it over that line. But in reality, they are. I rest my fucking case, guys. I mean, this is pretty accurate. When you look at all the value system, there's a hierarchy in Daygame. But I also want to talk about other things that can add to it. Because I thought this covers everything, but there is more evidence to support what I'm saying. I have a student who was bald and 5'7". Okay, he's wearing elevator shoes. You guys like to see it? This is a German student, 5'7". He was getting rejected every single fucking time when he's no longer listening to me about the elevator shoes. But when he's wearing elevator shoes, he is 5'10". I'll show you who. I really enjoy teaching him. I'm still teaching him at Elite 60. Let's take a look. Remember, if I still have students that are training under me, it is not my fault. People should not blame me or get angry at me because their business is failing. Because people during COVID-19 don't want to hear bullshit or red pill stuff. They cannot afford to worship. So it's not my fault. I spend some time working on some of my high income skills. I mean, if I'm talking about copywriting, I've been copying sales letters like crazy, guys. What the fuck? Sales letter after sales letter. I've been working on my skills, so therefore I spend 5 months at it. I should be rewarded. It's not because I'm not lack of emotions and I'm just coming out here and just sort of like a Navy SEAL just doing things. No, I put the work in. And the problem with these deluded people is they believe that in their delusions, they believe they're the best marketers. But because they're sociopath or dark tetrad personality disorder, what happens is that when they're marketing, it's like this thing. You see that? Right here. Machiavellianism, right here. The Machiavelli means manipulation. So for them, the marketing, they never took a marketing course before. It's all rooted in manipulation. And next to my desk, I do have a book about learning about marketing. Okay. For me, this is my first year I've ever learned marketing. I'm starting to see through their tactics. And you realize John does not actually does any fucking marketing whatsoever. There's no manipulation. You just tell them the fucking truth and work on the high income skills. You're like, whoa, what the fuck? What? But John, why not manipulate like them? I'm not very Machiavellian. Hope that makes sense. So high narcissism, Machiavellianism, and it should not be psychopathy. It should be psychopathy/sociopathy. But overall, if you look at this chart, looks is out of 10, money's out of 5. See that? Race and status, and lastly, game. Everything's broken down. So you just need 20 out of 35. That's the secret. 20 out of 35. I also show you a race hierarchy right here. See that? Tall whites, blacks, Latinos, Middle Easterns, Pakistanis. Then you have neutral stereotypes. It's the same shit. And then you got the negative stereotypes. It's not okay. So for this student, when he was 5'7", he got rejected in Germany, cold approaching every single fucking time. When he's 5'9", he no longer got rejected during the same fucking few minutes. You're like, what the fuck, man? Why does 5'7", 5'9" matter that much? That doesn't make any fucking sense. I haven't posted his testimonial yet, but he has a lay video and shit like that. So maybe I'll post it on the Kaizen program, because I'm posting like student lays, like videos and shit on my bootcamp page. So take a look. So for him, he got a girlfriend here, and she's like younger and much more attractive than he is. And for him, that height mattered. The watch mattered too. He was wearing a Rolex, and or at least what I want him to wear. Husband material. His fashion is husband material. You guys are getting it? Even though he's 10 out of 10 for the race, he does not have the look scale. He's almost like 1 or 2. So for him, he was in Portugal. Okay, hopefully you can see this. He went to after he got his 6 lays and a girlfriend in a blowjob in Germany. But why is black high on the hierarchy, but the low on the survey that the race will date? Okay, that's a good question. I will answer that right afterwards. But for this white guy, you can see in Portugal. See that? 1 second. Yeah, there it is. He became like such a good POA. You see that? He's dating them and pulling them. He pulled a woman home, and he's about to fuck her. He needed 2 more days. If he stayed 2 more days, he would fuck her. So a guy who's 5'7" becomes 5'10", and he became unstoppable, even with no looks. Therefore, the looks theory is bullshit. It's all about 20 out of 35, guys. 20 out of 35, and you're like, oh my god, John was telling you guys the truth all this time. So why do tall black people have so much fucking value in the game? It's very simple. It is like if they are looking for a specific type of look, muscles, black people do have like a bigger, wider body. Their faces are usually like ugly. Okay, no offense, but I tell my black students they're ugly, and you guys know it, and they get offended, but they're like, John's right. Okay, it's obviously not the fucking face that women are into. It is the big muscles, because everything is protector status and pre-selection. Okay, by being black, they have a pre-selection or positive stereotype that tall blacks are with white women in real life. Tall blacks and white women are very common couples sometimes. Not all the time, and maybe the woman is not always super hot. You know, in America, they might be a little bit chubby white women, but they're always with white women, so therefore they have the pre-selection. But do they have the height and muscles? Yeah, they have the height and muscles. So that's the protector status. So they have the Neanderthal gene. So according to this, Homo sapiens, back in the tribal days, they have procreated with the not Cro-Magnons, but with the Neanderthals. Because at that time, women found these tall, strong, small brain, like, big muscle, dumb, fucking tall Cro-Magnon cavemen attractive. So the human race is partially, so for some people, they have a Neanderthal gene. So for women, they always want a guy who can protect them. Does that make sense? So the bigger the muscles is, the better protector, but he's also pre-selected in real life, and the woman doesn't know what they want until it's in front of them. So they may not like black people online because they have a stereotype. Think about it this way. Every single race has a stereotype. They have a positive stereotype and a negative stereotype. So if you're looking at the very first race, the Asian negative stereotype is the messy hair, the lack of facial expressions, the lack of tonality, lack of social skills, looking like a nerd, and I'm Chinese. Ooh, they have that sort of like, phobia kind of thing. But then you got the positive stereotype Chinese, or the Asians who are more like Korean pop idols with their fucking dyed hair and shit and bleached hair. I mean, who the fuck would do something like that? Wait, Oh, fuck. Just ignore that. Ignore that. It's not bangs. It's not bangs. But, however, Asians have a positive stereotype through K-pop. So therefore, every race has it. We got the curry Indians with a big ass turban, right? Which is turning off women's big beard, right? And the smelly big unibrow, right? It's kind of like that's the negative stereotype. It's not to be racist, but that is the stereotype that they associate with Indians. But there's also a positive stereotype Indians. They're tall. Some of them are like, very square jawed with a Western bone structure. Big bones, right? Tall height and square jawline, kind of like my old roommate. So that's a positive stereotype. More of a positive stereotype, Indian. So every race has a positive stereotype. For Black people, they are associated in a negative way. They just think thugs, criminals online. But in real life, when they see a tall Black guy, the woman gets attracted because of the protector status. She cannot help it. Attraction is not a choice. And when you think about why do muscular guys get more compliments from other than women than working out, being muscular? Like I said, I've answered your questions many times before. You see how wide the shoulders is. It gives the protector status. That's why it's very important to have some kind of muscles. And the thing is that even if I'm very skinny, right? Careful, my Richard meal. One second. Even if I'm very skinny, I've been working on a little bit to widen the back. I'm not sure if I'm wider or not, but I've been trying to widen my back a little bit to look more like on the top, a little bit wider here. See that? A little bit more than before anyways. I'm not sure if it's wider, but it might be just a slightly bit wider than the past. So that is like the arrow theory, like I said many times. The bigger the arrow is, the more it'll penetrate. So if penetrating means like getting laid, the wider you make your arrow, the better it is. And my Pakistani mentor, his shoulders are very, very stocky. It's very wide. His shoulders are extremely wide, like that, like a football player. So for him, something like that is extremely helpful to have wider shoulders. Hope that makes sense. So that's why muscles matter. Muscles makes women, think about it this way, okay? So golden ratio is over here, okay? Golden ratio is here. This is the tip of the arrow. So this is the looks. Looks theory is not everything. Looks theory is only a small thing. Hope that makes sense. But whenever you think about the how tall a person is, that's how long the arrow is. And this is how wide the feather is for the muscles. Everything matters, guys. There's a balance to this. The problem is that with height, if you're too fucking tall, right? Let's just say, for example, you're not like 6'2", right? Which is ideal height. 6'2", 5'11", all right? 5'11", 5. These are ideal heights. This is 10 times easier. But if you're 6'4", and you're very tall and you don't have like a wideness in your arrow, in Daygame, you're going to have a hard time, kind of like self-proclaimed high lay counts guy. He wouldn't be able to do Daygame because, first of all, he's way too tall. When you're taller and you're skinny, he's not skinny, but it makes it harder because the arrow is smaller here, longer. Hope that makes sense. But for him, because his golden ratio is so fucking low, like 60-something%, that's why you need seeking arrangements. That's why he's seeking arrangement. So his arrow is not going to penetrate as much. That's why he's using the 5th generation of funnel game, of using funnels and volume. So there's not much skill. It just needs to be like bringing huge volume. And eventually, with enough value in the pictures, some of the women will close. The tall height does help. It's not lie about it. Being tall does help, right? Protector status and being white, but at the same time, for Daygame, because Daygame requires more skills, Daygame also requires, right, social skills, social calibrations, emotional intelligence, and game. He doesn't have any emotions because he's a complete psychopath and a half socio. And he doesn't have any sort of like social skills. So therefore, a little bit of game and body language, but the body language is facing her too much. We stand 45. And too much touching because of the lack of emotions. Therefore, he'll be touching all day. Therefore, he doesn't have enough Daygame skills. Not enough to get over that line. There might be a tall white race. Arrow is not strong enough. But even Brad Ass Kiss. If Brad Ass Kiss really had a lot of game, he would have more than one testimonial. But he's over that line because his golden ratio is high. and he's tall, and he's white. He doesn't penetrate everything. See, the Brad Askis arrow, although it's very sharp at the tip, 70%, okay? Long arrow, but he doesn't work out. So if Brad Askis work out, he'll be like gain more results. More of the arrows, instead of 50% of them falling off the target. So he just pull, and it'll just end there. Does that make sense, guys? This arrow theory explains everything. So yes, height matters a lot. The width of the arrow, because you need the feather to penetrate. Now it all makes sense, doesn't it? Or you can use your Instagram and try to move your value to other areas. You should pull up your back and get swole. It's hard. You do pull up, John. Your back, you get swole. It's hard at first, but starting off by hanging off the bar. Okay. I think I have a chin-up bar somewhere. So I just hang off the bar then. Okay. I only see 4 likes here because it's too hardcore of what I'm saying about height and everything. It's way too hardcore for some of you. Watch his back. Is this nice? Reassured me. Reassured me. All right. Let's see, is there anything else to say? Oh yeah. So basically, as you can see, as he boosted his height, it became a lot easier. I think that covers what I want to cover because Daygame requires, like Tinder, right? It does not require as much game. You already know that. I already covered it. Let's see. Yeah. I think that covers everything I want to cover, guys. So if you guys like, it's a cool looking watch. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Sure. Let's see which one. Any more questions? How cool this is. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Doesn't zoom in too well. Yeah. Cool looking watch, yeah. Anyways, if that covers everything, then I'm done here. I made my point. Exactly 2 hours. It's too long. I'll be back here soon. I'll be talking about the golden ratio for the face. And you'll see scientifically all the dating coaches, by the time I'm done, I'll have a golden ratio for every single one. Anyone that has a lower golden ratio and the women they get are exactly the same. And the ones who are like, you know what I mean? Really low golden ratio and they get hotter women, they're using seeking arrangements. Seeking arrangements like Justin Wayne and self-proclaimed tall, high leg count guy. But that is it. Then this is it. I hope you enjoyed today's YouTube live. That you learn a lot out of it. You learn so much. And this shatters all your perceptions about girlfriends, the emotionality bullshit. It's all about height. It's all about value. Oh my God. And the statistical science supports what I'm saying. All right. Good talking to you guys. See you next class. And maybe the next time I'll be talking about looks theory. I'll cover this here. So I don't see more questions. And peace, motherfuckers. Peace.